I will.
I'd like to call to order the Municipality of Monroeville's Citizens Night for December 8th, 2016. If you'd please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm sitting in as mayor this evening. As deputy mayor, Mayor Aracinko is at the Allegheny League of Municipalities meeting this evening. He's actually being placed on the board of directors as the second vice president representing our community, so he's making us proud down there, so I'll be taking over the meeting here this evening. And we'll start with our citizens' remarks and comments for Citizens Night. I don't know if anyone has signed in. Is there anyone that would like to address council at this time?
Yeah, this makes sense.
Then we'll close that portion of the meeting and move over to our agenda-setting meeting. As I said, Mayor Aracinko is not in attendance. Mr. Johns and Mr. Wilson are also unable to attend this evening.
I hope your eye feels better, Tom.
And we'll move right over. On Tuesday, we're going to be having a presentation update for the Home Rule Charter Ad Hoc Review Board. The Ad Hoc Review Board has been meeting for several months now, and by ordinance, they had to present at the regular council meeting of the December meeting, which is actually this coming Tuesday. There are some members that are in attendance here this evening. If council has any questions for them, there is about close to a 25-page document they came up with. They did a tremendous amount of work and made a lot of great changes or suggestions, at least, for council to review. And once again, this has been one big, long process. First, we named this board. They met. They went through the Home Rule Charter, which is essentially Monroeville's constitution, and page by page to see what kind of things either needed to be changed by law, maybe things that were outdated, even just minimal changes that maybe were just small punctuation changes, and also things that maybe that over the years we found that can be done better in our community. So they have presented a large document to us, 22 pages, 23 pages. Our chairman, Mr. Dave Cooker, will be presenting on Tuesday. However, if council, I know council has received this a little bit ago, if council has any questions tonight for Mr. Cooker or for any of the other ad hoc board members, now would be the time to do it. You certainly would have more opportunity on Tuesday's meeting to ask questions as well, but there's some members here, and if anyone wants to ask questions, now's the time.
I just have one that's
Tonight.
probably pretty obvious, Dave, but I just want to make sure I'm reading it right. The red lettering that has a line through it is wording that was in the Home Rule Charter that you are suggesting we remove.
Yes, that's correct.
And the blue lettering is an addition.
That's correct.
And then the list of wording changes are just basically English changes. Just it's not changing the definition to anything.
Those are de minimis changes.
Right. So they're.
In fact,
You're just letting us know a word was changed
Yes.
here and there. Okay.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Okay, and once again, this has been a very long process for all the members that have met. They've met 17 times and really combed through the Home Rule Charter. Now the next step is they present to us, we review it. There's a lot of public input at that time. Then we are at the mercy of the Allegheny County Board of Elections because we have to figure out if we make changes, it has to be done on a voter referendum. You certainly can't just do it all in one shot. There's got to be pieces, so we have to figure out the best way to present these things. And then once we do that, the board of Elections, they can word it on the ballot however they want, which could add some confusion. But we still have a long way to go for all of this. But up to this point, the board has now finally presented their document, and we're going to start the process on our end now. So thanks to all the board members that met. I know it was a lot of work, a lot of time doing this. So thank you to all in attendance and also those that couldn't make it this evening. But once again, there'll be a more in-depth presentation on Tuesday at the regular council meeting.
Is that when you're going to give the public basically more of a bullet points of the major changes, not just the simple little, wording of the and,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, I believe what you have is, I'll give a little description of what we have. On one of the pages, there's like 4 chapters, for lack of a better description. The mission and history, the de minimis changes, then there are recommendations for the amendments, and then there's the ordinances and other legal documents that kind of verified some of the reasons that we stated that must be changed because the law has changed.
Right.
And that's and
So what
during
you're
my-
saying is the Borough Code trumps the Home Rule Charter, and you made sure we matched
That
that.
everything kind of
Yes.
now is in line with each
Yes,
together. Okay.
yes, and I'll touch on the highlights. I'll go through with legal section. There's the legal things. We went technology, personnel stuff, the Borough Code. Those are the things we really examined when we realized we were having problems, and we were actually having problems here. As I don't have to tell this council about in the recent past and in the decades past, the problems that we had with some of the interpretations
Correct.
and lack of, let's put it this way, lack of qualifications of some people that needed to be updated in that home
For
rule charter.
their positions.
For the better of Monroeville.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
So
Thanks, Dave.
that's what will be discussed.
Thank you,
Great.
Dave.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Dave. We
Well,
look forward to
thank you, everybody,
Tuesday.
but we look forward to Tuesday.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Mayor, can I ask a question, sir?
If you could hold that to the end, Mr. Serafini.
I just wanted to ask, what's council
He has to
reviews
come to a
everything?
microphone.
Are we going to have citizens to? have a
Absolutely.
meeting?
And Thanks, Joe. Mr. Serafini, we'll answer all your questions after the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you. Thank you. I have an executive session announcement that council conducted an executive session for personnel and litigation reasons prior to tonight's Citizens Night, beginning at 6:15 p.m. until approximately 7:05 p.m. Council legislative action, if any, shall be taken at the December 13th council meeting. And approval of our minutes. We have minutes from our budget hearings of October 27th and November 3rd of 2016, Citizens Night meeting of November 3rd, council work session of November 3rd, and the regular council meeting of November 9th. Council, any questions, additions, or changes to those minutes? Okay. Approval of tax collections. Any questions, council? List of bills and budget transfers, payroll. We'll lump them all together. Mr. Duncan, do you have any questions this evening?
I do not.
Mr. Clary?
Nope.
Mr. Harvey?
None.
Mrs. Gatos?
Nothing. Thank you.
And then we're moving over to our consent agenda, which is new business, and that would be Mr. Little.
Okay, the first on the subdivision land development is an application is requesting conditional use approval to operate a vehicle services business of handicap accessible vehicles. The property is located at 1000 Seco Road in the N1 Plan Industrial Zoning District. This will be a conditional use hearing right now. And I guess I'll hand it over to Mr. Ratcher. This is a conditional use hearing.
Okay. Is the applicant present? Would you come forward, please? Please state your name for the record and sign the register as well.
Michael Dresner.
Thank you.
I have some literature for council, if I may pass that out. How broadly should I distribute that? This way, okay? We're already in the area in Wall, PA. We're attempting to relocate here into Monroeville.
And sir, you can hold your
Yeah,
comments till you get
just
to the
till you get back to the
that one we
microphone,
know.
so.
Everybody can hear you then.
Thank you.
Oh, this is up on 48.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
you're in front of the greenhouse, right?
Yes, yes. So I'm Michael Dresner. I'm the Director of Real Estate Development for Mobility Works. We're already in the area in Wall. attempting to relocate into Monroeville to a more modern facility. It will be a more modern facility. We're going to make substantial upgrades to it. We currently have been approved to provide motor vehicle sales at the location, and we're here tonight to look for a conditional use to provide service to those wheelchair-accessible motor vehicles. A little bit about Mobility Works. We're a national company with about a 70-store footprint in several states, and we sell wheelchair-accessible vehicles for persons with disabilities. We service those vehicles. We also provide equipment for people's own vehicles that might need lifting devices or driving aids. Our goal will be to service that equipment at this location, as well as minor automotive service that would include oil changes and air conditioning, radiator service, but nothing invasive like engine or transmission, simply for the convenience of our customers, that when they have to wait for a service to be done, are more comfortable in a completely accessible facility that caters to their needs, rather than a typical automotive facility that may not fully cater to their needs.
Describe to everybody where 1000 Seek Road might be.
It's in the back of a business park. Are we the Monroeville? What is the name of the park?
Monroeville Business Park.
Okay, the Monroeville Business
Is
Park.
that Building 10?
That's correct.
Building
Am I right
10.
on it?
And I apologize, I don't live here, so it's a little foreign to me. But
I know where it is.
It's the last building. It happens to have significant parking, which, of course, is necessary in our world. And I think it's well
Didn't
suited.
Comcast used to be back there? Didn't Comcast used to be back there, their office? Is that where that is? Back in the industrial park, way
Comcast
back
did
there?
have an office.
They-
I don't know if
Comcast
it's
had an
the
office
same
back in there?
There-
Yeah, on the right before you got to that building.
Okay.
There's an air conditioning distribution center next to us for air conditioning parts and air conditioning units.
You're going to sell vehicles, sell
Yes.
them as well as maintain them?
Yes.
And what about upgrading, say, an existing van?
Yes.
You would do that all there?
Yes.
And is this built out to do all that, Paul?
Well, that's Mr. Straley.
Yes, it is, Mrs. Gatos. Yeah, it's the property is zone M1 in the manufacturing district. They received a use variance for the vehicle sales entity of it. It's an existing building. All the site amenities are there. They're required out of the zoning ordinance to have 22 parking spaces. They actually have 67 provided. And they're coming through the conditional use end for just on the vehicle services operation of the business.
What is
They need
your
a
hour of
conditional use
operation?
to service vehicles in an industrial
Two
park.
questions at once.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
So the hours of operation are 8 to 5 weekdays, some Saturday morning hours. Those are not year-round, but we also will meet with clients by appointment, simply because our clients' lives are complicated and time-consuming to deal with certain disabilities, so we do meet by appointment evenings and weekends. That's going to be very, very minimal.
So
This
it
doesn't
does-
even, you don't even have to go through a residential area to get to this.
No, because, they're in the industrial
Or
park.
the industrial park.
No, but that part of the industrial park is on top of Beatty Road.
Yes,
It overlooks Beatty Road, so I was just,
Chico's where you're at, right?
right.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Any other questions for the
Well,
applicant?
yeah, they don't have to change the building or anything, right? So, everything's kind of already there, so.
Correct.
The existing structure, that just the internal portions of the building will be retrofitted to meet our needs.
Okay.
Any other questions for the applicant from council?
No, sir.
Are there any interested parties in the audience that would like to comment or ask questions? Seeing none, if council has nothing else, we will close the public hearing.
Okay. And we can't take any official action this evening. That's on Tuesday's regular council meeting. But my opinion is, we're really happy to have business come into Monroeville and wish you the best. I don't want to speak for council, but hopefully they are thinking the way I'm thinking.
Okay.
So
Well,
we'll
and
see you again on Tuesday.
Thank you for letting me present. And do we need to have a company representative at the Tuesday meeting?
We should.
Probably should.
You should,
answer
yes, in
questions.
case there are any
Just in
questions.
case.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Thank
That'd be
you.
a good idea.
Thank you.
Public can still ask questions then, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly, Mr. Clary. So, yeah, the public could comment on that item on Tuesday if they so wish. Okay, so our second order of
Okay, Monroeville Mall, Best Buy. Applicant is requesting a final subdivision approval for a subdivision of existing parcel 639F75 to create Lot 2 totaling 3.121 acres. The property is located at 200 Mall Circle Drive in the C2 Business Commercial Zoning District.
Good evening, everybody. This is simple subdivision, creating a new lot out of the mall property. As you can see on the drawing I have showing on the TV screen, outlined in purple is the whole Monroeville Mall facility. The yellow up here in the corner where I'm pointing at, that is actually where the existing Best Buy is now. They're proposing to subdivide off the store to create a 3.121 acre lot for a potential future sale. The application has received a variance, and I believe it was, excuse my notes, I can't read my writing right there, in 1999 for the building and front yard setbacks. That stays with the building and with the entity on that. So they're creating with a new lot, just simple subdivision on that. All the application came through the planning commission. There was several comments during the review period. They have been addressed by the applicant. They were all minor recording language. Simple note was made at the planning commission's request on the recording page for the cross easement agreement.
Could you put that picture back
I'm
up a minute?
confused at what they're doing.
What
This-
part is the new lot?
This highlighted out in yellow right there would be the new lot.
Where's the
creating a
existing?
3.12.
Can you bring up the real picture?
Existing?
The photograph? I'm so confused.
Yeah,
All right,
It's
Zach,
just where-
help me out. Where's it going to be?
It's just the Best Buy.
It's around the Best
Yeah.
Buy.
Best Buy
Around
and
Best Buy,
and the Best
creating
Buy
a
parking lot?
creating a 3-acre lot around the Best Buy.
So you don't have to run across
Parking
the
lot on the
street?
side. They have a cross easement agreement with the parking across the street.
Okay.
There'll still be that, and they still have with those agreements in place. The entire property, which outlined in purple there, is all in one large parcel right now, all around the mall.
Okay.
They're
Yeah,
they're
that's
just
the whole
trying
mall, but
to
what are they trying to do right around their buildings?
Section themselves off.
section themselves
They're
out. They're
probably
looking
trying to take control of that property.
So that they
And for
can,
financing purposes,
Yeah.
you have to subdivide it.
okay, so
probably
they want
what
to
it is,
subdivide
yeah.
from the whole mall.
Correct, yeah.
I got you.
Sorry for-
I thought they were trying to expand or
Yeah, I just-
sell off
No,
part of
no,
theirs,
no.
and I'm like, I don't know
You'll
what
learn.
we're doing
You're gonna
here.
dumb it down for us, man.
Jason, are those cross easements for the parking, are they going to be perpetual? Are
correct.
they going
Yes.
to run with the land so that
Yes.
if Best Buy moves out, it won't be a deal where they say they can't have them anymore?
That is
Because
correct.
obviously,
There's-
we'd have a lot in a building with not enough parking.
We have it on file right now. There's actually 3 separate documents and about 80 to 90 pages of
And
lovely
therein
language.
was what I was concerned about, is that people are already having to run across the street to get to the parking,
That'll stay the same.
That's going to stay the
Yes.
same, yeah.
but to make sure that it's going to stay, that we will have those. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions, council? Okay, thank you. And moving over to motions, Tim, that's still with you, Mr. Little?
Okay, there's one motion on the agenda, and there's 2 other ones, one of which I've spoken to council about, 2 other ones that I would like to bring up with council. The first motion for Tuesday night is a motion to appoint Jason Straley, community planner, as the Monroeville's zoning officer. Jason's been with us since March, I believe, Jason, and Paul Hugus and I have talked, and we believe it's time to make him the official zoning officer of the municipality. Any comments or questions from council?
Now, will he still continue his role as community planner, or will we be
Yes.
hiring? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, then next, which is on there, I'm asking council for a motion on Tuesday night for an authorization to advertise for the Director of Finance here in the municipality. Any comments or question on that?
Do it.
Okay, the one on there that I haven't, we have talked at the last meeting kind of indirectly about this one. At the last meeting, a council brought up with the chief about the communication and getting financing together for the communication, because we're on VHF right now, we have to move to UHF. And I told council that depending upon our fund balance, more so moving towards March 31st, because our fund balance is performing a little bit better, that we'd be able to maybe slice a little bit of money and section it off. So what I'd be requesting for Tuesday night is to open up a new fund and call the fund a law enforcement communication fund. So if we do come into any kind of extra money, we can put it into this separate fund for that specific need of the new communication from moving from, for public safety communication, moving from VHF to UHF.
So you're stealing my idea.
I didn't know that was your idea.
So how soon till we get
So-
that upgrade?
Pardon me?
How soon till we get the upgrade? Is that the radios?
Yeah, that's the
Get the grant
radios.
first.
Yeah, you have to get the grant first.
How long is that gonna take?
Well,
I have a report on it.
yeah,
Oh,
Mr. Harvey has a report on it.
Well, I'll tell you.
gotta
Okay,
get some
so-
radios, man.
So I'll put those two additional motions on the agenda for Tuesday night, if it's okay with council.
Is it going to be just for the radio system, or are we going to call it a public safety?
No, it's just going to be for the radio
This
system.
one's just
Unless
gonna be
it's up to
radio.
council, whatever they want to do.
The radio system.
Just radio system to
It's gonna be
start?
for one of those big cranky horns, for tornadoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
It'll
more,
be at your house.
the more specific we keep it, the better off
Yeah,
we would be.
okay.
Okay, and that concludes motions.
Okay, so moving over to ordinances, Mr. Ratcher, if you could.
First
take-
ordinance is an ordinance of the municipality of Monroeville fixing the real estate millage for land, buildings, and structures for 2017.
Which I'll just add there, that's remaining at 4 mills.
Okay, the next ordinance is an ordinance of the municipality of Monroeville to provide for the adoption of a budget containing estimates of proposed revenues and expenditures for the calendar year beginning January 1, 2017.
And if I could add to that, all the changes the council talked about through the budget hearings have been made in their respective budgets. The budget is on, the soon-to-be adopted budget, Tuesday night, is on the website right now for any resident that wants to look at it. There have been relatively minor changes to it with respect to adding more summer help for the Public Works Department it would be the biggest one.
Next ordinance is an ordinance of the municipality of Monroeville continuing the deed transfer, mercantile tax, business privilege tax, and local services tax pursuant to the Local Tax Enabling Act of 1965 as amended.
Any questions, council?
Next is an ordinance of the municipality of Monroeville adjusting the salary system structure of 2017. I think it would mean for 2017.
Wouldn't we want to hold off on that adjustment until further discussion, or from
You can do that.
some of our talks, or?
In executive session, sure, that's up to council.
We can make that decision on Tuesday.
You can make a
could
decision on
Yeah.
Tuesday.
We could table
You
it
can
Tuesday if
table
we
it.
had any of these. And keep in mind, for the listening audience, all 5 of these ordinances are directly tied to the budget. They are broken apart, but essentially it is the passing of the budget. The millage rate, the expenditures, and income, salary, and then the fee schedule as well. They're all, whenever we pass a budget every year, these 5 ordinances are always the 5 that we pass.
If we
together.
table one of these, then, does that then hold off passing of the budget?
Not the
No?
salary.
So we could
no.
table one of the items and still pass the budget?
Sure,
And what is the deadline for the budget pass?
December 31st.
Is it 31st?
Although under the Home Rule Charter,
You can extend.
you can't extend it on a month-to-month basis, which was done 3 years ago.
Which hopefully that's not the case this year.
No, hopefully not. I wasn't sure exact.
Final ordinance is an ordinance of the municipality of Monroeville establishing the 2017 fee schedule.
Any questions, council? Okay, we're going to move over to our reports of municipal staff. Mr. Ratcher?
No comment tonight, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Mr. Little?
Yeah, I have 2 items. Council has a letter at their stations from Pierce Park. Pierce Park is our investment firm for our OPEB fund, and one of their principals is divesting and going to be retiring, and they're going to be combining with a firm from Chicago. And council can take a look at that And what Pierce Park is looking for is a signature from the OPEB committee. And Sarah Wilson from Pierce Park mentioned that if anybody from council or the OPEB committee has any questions, that she would come out here and entertain any questions if you wish. I know you just received this evening, but so if you have any questions, you can ask tonight or Tuesday night. Council, have any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Little, was this something that we would have to, the OPEB committee would have to meet, discuss?
Well, that's up to you. I mean, I don't necessarily think you have to. I mean, if you can affix your signatures there and send it in, or if you want to call Sarah yourself, or if you want to have a meeting with her, that's up to you.
Okay. Well, let's have all of council review this document, and we'll talk about it on Tuesday. If we have to hold off on it until the OPEB committee meets, we'll do it, or otherwise, so.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, Joe, you want to put that picture up?
Sure.
Today, we lost a true American hero. John Glenn passed away this afternoon, and if anybody here is old enough to remember, in February of 1962, he was the first American to orbit 3 orbits around the Earth, and he was a hero for me when I was a kid. And the whole Mercury astronaut, 7 astronauts, it was his only flight that he took in space. And I thought I'd throw a picture up there just to show how small that capsule is that he went around. And space flight back then was a very risky business. And he come back to a ticker tape parade, and I just thought I'd throw that up there in his honor. Okay, thanks, Joe.
Very good.
And that concludes my report.
Thanks, Mr. Little. Smaller than most vehicles that are on the road right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Hugus, any report this evening?
No, sir.
Okay, and this will go over to our council members. Mrs. Gatos, you're up.
I have nothing tonight.
Mr. Harvey.
The Public Safety Committee has met twice since the last council meeting to talk about, and of course, the main topic was the Emergency Communications Center, and we are making very good progress. We've had a vendor in there. We've had, everybody has attended both meetings, and we're outlining not only how we should approach this, but what should be replaced, and while we're doing it, what should be updated. The suggestion was made to Mr. Little, who did attend both meetings, as far as funding goes. Now, some of this funding, we are hoping to come from the state, from Mr. Markozik. He also was there and told us the problems with the upcoming state budget, and but not to say that those grant funds won't still be there. So he has to wait till the turn of the year before he goes after this kind of money. The kind of grant that he is going after, we have to match. It could be up to $500,000. And it doesn't matter how you match that, if it comes out of some of the police funds, or how you do that. But meaning if they gave us $480,000, then we have to match that $480,000. And we have to use it for the items we said we're going to use it for, which is update the communication center and the repeaters and whole municipal radio system. And that is the intent. So we're working on our half of the funding. We're trying to get a better feel for what this is all going to cost, which so far has actually been a little below what we anticipated. So we have a little ways to go, but that's where it's at. That being said, if any of you have not gone down to the dispatch center to see the new cameras of the intersections and things that through the district attorney's office, you should go down and take a look. It's unbelievably impressive. And I think they were working on 22 and 48 today. But you should go down to the radio room, the communications center, and have them show you the cameras that were being installed, because we paid for part of that. And I think you would be impressed with what you see. Keeping in mind that they can rewind the tape on that if something happens, and they can review the cars that go through the intersection and things like that. So, not every community has that because we have our own dispatch center, and it's another advantage. I want to thank the Home Rule Charter Committee for all their work before I forget to do it on Tuesday. So thank you. And last but not least, recently, Pitcairn EMS, Emergency Medical Services, their ambulance service, has ceased to provide EMS service for Pitcairn. Through meetings and requests of Pitcairn Council, Monroeville EMS, the fire departments, are going to pick up their absence for the next 30 days to the end of the year. Pitcairn Council has officially made that request to our head of our EMS division, which is Scott Faze, Chief of Number 4. And we agreed to pick that up till the end of the year, and they might have a request that we keep providing that service till the end of March of next year, which is when they think they'll know whether that ambulance service is going to get back on its feet again or whether they have to make other arrangements, at which time we'll have to talk about that. We did advise them that starting next year that they would have to pay the municipality about $1,000 a month, which would pick up the percentage of tire, fuel, maintenance, and insurance for the ambulances that, for the ambulance calls that go down there. So they indicate, the first indication, they don't have any problem with that, although that's not etched in stone yet, because the chiefs just met last night, and that message was just given to them today. So I don't think there's going to be a problem with that, and that is just to recoup some of the expenses that the municipality pays to keep our ambulances running.
Now, sorry, Mr. Harvey, so Mr. Ratcher, how would we work that contractually, or would it, what's the way to handle
Well, I think there are a couple ways to handle it. One way is the way it's probably gone on for a very long time, and that is that Monroeville goes down there and backs them up on a routine basis. There's no contractor agreement. Obviously, even though that's not probably legally the best way to do it, that's been going on for years, as it does with many communities. The other alternative, particularly if you're talking about money changing hands, might be to have a simple intermunicipal agreement, either for the 3-month period, and then if it turned into a longer period, it could certainly be for a longer period as well. So
I wanted to inform council that was taking place, and as I get information, of course, I'll immediately give it to Tim to pass on to you. And I think Scott Faze has also been in touch with Tim also to tell him what's going on. So basically, you have it to the end of March. I mean, we don't even know if that's going to happen yet. We gave him the December just gratis. Yes, we'll come down and help you out. But sometime in the end of December, January, they have to give us some kind of direction where they intend on heading. And that time frame that I'm telling you about is giving their EMS hopefully time to get back on its feet again. That's what we hope.
But the chiefs are all confident that you can handle it?
Yes.
Okay.
And last but not least, in case I forget, Tuesday, happy holidays to everybody, and have a Merry Christmas and New Year. That's it.
Mr. Clary, any comments this evening?
Just one. I wanted to give the final update on my tree thing I've been screaming about. So I did meet with Duquesne Light, and I think we came to a pretty amicable agreement. They have agreed that for anybody that has contacted me that feels your tree after it was cut, it's unsafe or completely ruined, contact me directly. You can call Duquesne Light directly. They will send somebody out to evaluate their work, speak with you personally. And in exchange for that, anybody in the future, they really, really want you to call ahead. If you have a tree, you see it's in the lines, they put the door knocker on your door, call them, and they have agreed to come out and speak with the homeowners to try to work it out. Now, this isn't saying that they're going to come out and prune it and do some topiary things to your trees, but they are absolutely willing to come and look at anybody who's contacted me now or anybody who's hearing now that would like somebody to go out and look, they will evaluate then at that point and work with the homeowners on that. So it was worth it. That's all I have for tonight.
Great. Nice job on that. And we'll have to remind everybody in the spring, whenever this all starts up again,
Absolutely.
it's something that we can try to head it off before it becomes a problem. So, Mr. Duncan?
Yeah, just quickly, Monroeville Number 3 Fire Social Hall in Mellon is holding a charity Chinese auction. Members have contributed over 40 baskets, and there's some nice baskets, some nice deals in there, and various donations from local businesses. Also, there's a 55-inch television as part of the auction, and it'll be held until the 11th. It started on the 1st, but our council meeting for me to announce here, it's held till the 11th, so you have till Sunday, and you don't have to be a member to participate, and all proceeds will be donated to families of need in our community. So it's a real nice thing. Be nice to see people get down there and pitch in.
How can you donate if you can't, like, can you just make a donation to the fire hall, or?
I'm sure you could. I don't know the particulars as far as they have it set up, but it's an auction where you go buy your
It's in the
tickets,
baskets.
put them in the baskets. They have
You
over.
just stop in any time and buy
Anytime.
$20 worth of tickets, put it in, and leave.
Anytime, I believe they're open from noon till 9 o'clock.
Okay, nice.
So, yeah, it's a good thing for local families. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Great. Okay, and once again, thanks to the Ad hoc Review Board, but they will give a in-depth review and presentation on Tuesday. The question we had was, once this does get presented, yes, the public is going to have a lot of time to give input on this. It's a public document. It'll be on the website. We'll probably get copies of it at the library, at the senior center, for people to review it. But yeah, there will definitely be time for public comment on the home rule charter changes, or potential home rule charter changes.
I'm
Hey.
sorry, and I was remiss. Thank you, guys. I know that was a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
A lot of work. And once again, congratulations to Mayor Cinco being placed on the Board of Directors for the Allegheny League of Municipalities, but he'll be back here on Tuesday running the meeting. And then lastly, you still have time. It's very important, but you still have time. It's cold out. The Light Up Night Holiday Light Contest is this Sunday. So between the hours of 6 p.m. and 9 p.m., make sure you have your holiday lights up on your house. Members of the Recreation and Parks Advisory Board will be driving around, and there will be then a winner chosen in each individual ward. On Sunday night, you'll know Sunday night if you're a winner. And then the following night, Monday, the whole board gets together, and we drive to all the individual ward winners and pick a grand champion. So
Now, do you have to call and submit your address, like come look at my house, or do you guys just drive around and look at everything?
yeah, there's a board member for each ward, and that board member is tasked with driving the entire ward throughout all the neighborhoods to pick a winner. So that's from 6 to 9 on Sunday night. Do you have your lights up yet?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Very good.
What's in the trees?
Of course.
So 6 to 9 this Sunday.
Day after Thanksgiving.
And with that, I will seek a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Thank you and good night.